Guys, for the past couple of days, well, the past 2 days, I haven't been making any videos. I've been uploading videos because I have a bunch saved, but I haven't been making any new content. Why? That's because I've been working on this coding project. I've been working on my trait predictor tool, which you can find from the link which is in the description. The description of this video has the link to this tool, and I really suggest you try it out because, you know, I've put a lot of effort into it. So, what the architecture is, you choose the file. For example, we're gonna choose my file, which is a MyHeritage file, and we're gonna make sure that it's all files because it's not a text file, it's a CSV file. So we select all files, and then we open my MyHeritage data. We're gonna click Analyze Genome. It's gonna prompt us to enter a name. By the time it prompts you to enter a name, all of the calculations are already done. So at this point, all the calculations are already done. We enter our name, and we see this. So this is typically what I make content about. This is my content. This is what I make videos about, guys. And you can generate this report for yourself. You don't even have to pay me. I would like if you paid me, but you don't have to. Nobody's forcing you to. This is all lactose persistence, empathy, diabetes, hemochromatosis, Alzheimer's. All this genetic data is stuff you're gonna see in my videos. This is all that I discuss in my videos. Now, I added something new here, which is OCA2 blonde hair and blue eyes panel. This is about the various blue eye haplotypes. So you can see I have blue eye haplotype 1, I have blue eye haplotype 2, I'm heterozygous for blue eye haplotype 3, and I don't have blue eye haplotype 4. But what we see here at the bottom are the buttons. You see polygenic risk scores. Let's click on that. These are my polygenic risk scores for multiple various illnesses, for schizophrenia, for type 2 diabetes, and for Alzheimer's. You can see I have this many times the average odds of schizophrenia, this many times the average odds of diabetes, and this many times the average odds of Alzheimer's. This calculation is done using Bayesian method. And at first, when I incorporated this ethnic calculator, I also wanted to use the Bayesian method. But then I was like, you know what? I think it's not the appropriate method. I think this is not the appropriate way to calculate ethnicity. And I actually came up with my own method. I came up with my own, my very own method for ethnicity calculation, which, you know, I think is pretty awesome. Right, so this is our, this is me. And now let's click on the ethnic calculator results. And for the ethnic calculator results, this is what I score. 23% Northeast European, 24% Northwest European, 16% Middle Eastern or Jewish, 20% Kafkaz or Baloch, and I'm not scoring any African, and I am a little bit East Asian, Amerindian and Melanesian, so I have a little bit of East Asian, Native American and Melanesian like admixture, which probably in my case it comes from ancient North Eurasian admixture, and also from more recent Siberian Finno-Ugric Uralic admixture. Since I am Russian, I have a little bit of Finno-Ugric admixture. So after we're done, we want to click reset. We want to reset the polygenic and the ethnic calculators. Now we click on that again. After we reset, okay, so after we reset and we click on this again, we're not going to see any kind of score. Or here, if we reset and we click on this again, we're going to see 1 for the schizophrenia, type 2 diabetes, and Alzheimer's. And you have to reset. If you're not going to close the page, then you have to reset after every genome you run, because you're not gonna get an accurate result if you don't. It has to do with the architecture of the code. So you have to reset. That's why the reset button is there, so that you could reset. Now let's see what somebody else who's like completely different would score. So for example, for somebody that's completely different, I have a khoi-san genome. I have a bunch of genomes, but let's try khoi-san. Let me show you what khoi-san scores here. I'm gonna click Analyze Genome. We're gonna wait. Don't close. Just because it's taking a while for the name thing to pop up, doesn't mean you gotta close. You gotta wait. You gotta power through it. You gotta be patient. Even now, be patient. And now it's gonna come, and we're gonna enter the name. By the time we enter the name, all the calculations are already done. So we enter the name and we click on ethnic calculator results. And khoi-san is actually scoring 96% African, and pretty much nothing else besides African, just African. The only thing that this individual is scoring seems to be African. Okay, what about a natufian? I have a natufian too. I'm just gonna show you what's typical for these people. Alright, so it's actually not a very good file, it's a very small file, but yeah, I didn't count on that. So let's see what a small file is gonna score. I think with this kind of a file, the whole result is gonna be like based on 20 or 10 SNPs, so it's not gonna be a very precise result. But this imprecise result is as such: 40% Kafkaz, 30% African, wow, crazy. 20% Northwest European, nothing from Northeast European, and actually nothing, almost nothing from Middle Eastern or Jewish, only 1% Middle Eastern or Jewish. So as I've said previously, this is not a very good file. This is a pretty small quality file. So if you have a file that's below like 10 megabytes in size, the prediction is not going to be very good. And if you have a file that's very high, that's very large, it might crash my website. So don't upload files that are bigger than 100 megabytes. So let's try this one actually, Ton002. This is Ton002 is a person from Southeast Asia. That's with G25 it's a mixture of like East Asian plus Melanesian. We're gonna enter Mel for the name. And all this, we're not going to talk about any of this, but if you really want to find out what you have for this, you can check out my website. You can analyze your genome, and you can get all of these results for yourself. So our Ton002 is scoring this: 43% East Asian, 36% Melanesian, and actually 14.5% African. So this is kind of interesting. Where the African admixture is coming from? But keep in mind, this is a pretty small file. And my ethnicity predictor is currently only having about 100 SNPs that it bases the result off. So you have 100 SNPs, and the result is based on these 100 SNPs. So, so for this file, this was probably done with like 25 or 30 SNPs. So it's not a very good result, but it's still not being very good. It's still pretty decent at capturing the East Asian and Melanesian shift that's present in this individual. Well, that's pretty much all I had to show you here in this video. And as you can see at the bottom of my page, it says, make sure to support AndreiDNA by #1 subscribing to AndreiDNA on YouTube. Since you're watching this video on YouTube, you can very easily fulfill this task. And #2, donating to my PayPal. And this is my PayPal email address and the name that's on my PayPal, Andrei Kharchenko. Make sure you do donate to me on my PayPal, because I've been doing this work for a long time. I've been doing this work for a year at this point, and it's a lot of investment. It's a lot of investment of time. I've been putting in time into this stuff, and the return on investment is not so great. Really not so great. So far I've made $60 on YouTube from the month that I've been monetized. $60 in a month. And I've made like $100, $150, $160 from selling my NOSHACOT. And I've made like $60 from Megagenic sales. That's all I've made. So all in all, that's what, like, that's $250 that I've made in a year. That's a year worth of work for $250. There's Chinese kids working in sweatshops who earn 4 times more than me, and I'm doing work that requires a lot of effort. You know, keep that in mind. Maybe do consider donating to me a little bit, make my life a little bit easier. And of course, if you don't feel like donating and giving me money for free, you are welcome to buy my phenotype prediction software, NOSHACOT, from the link which is on my website, and also I will leave a link to NOSHACOT in the description of this video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.